Hi, the prophetic widow here with another tarot reading. I actually wanted to do shamanic healing reading. You know, given the title healing, shamanic healing, this could be directed towards anybody that's going through any hardship or has gone through a hardship and is going through the healing. This could be for you. The message, if it could possibly resonate for you, and if it does, it would benefit me as the reader and you as the viewer to give me feedback on the reading, the tarot reading that I'm about to give about this. Title or talk, TED Talk, no. But yeah, let's see what comes out. Usually these are like 1 or 2 word phrases. And a picture. Given that my last video was, everybody's going through something, and it's true, everybody is going through something, and sometimes a word of advice or a word of encouragement or just knowing that, you're not the only person going through this. And it's always good for, the viewers to comment and let other people know, this is to let other people know that no, they're not the only person going through this. There's other people going through the same thing. You know what I mean? I've always said, like, everybody's going through something, but that doesn't give that, the person to victimize themselves and blame other people and not take accountability, because there's a lot of people out there that like to justify their bad attitude or bad things that have happened to them. They let that justify their bad mood or their bad actions or their lack of awareness of accountability, stuff like that. You know what I mean? A lot of people like to, like, oh, well, nobody was there for me, so, stuff like that. I'm like, well, nobody was nice to me, nobody cared about me, so why should I care about anybody else? Like, kind of like that mentality. In that mental state, nothing ever works out in your life or anything around you if you think like that. That's what I believe. I don't know. But spirit could shut my mouth by flipping a card here for me. Sometimes I do talk out of my butt. Yeah. Anything? Did I say everything already? That's a good one. Let's see quickly. 2, 3. Okay, so I got sacred place and inner journey. And so sacred place is what I pulled out. Sacred space. I think that's very crucial for someone, especially, you know, like, I don't know what it is with people, but they like to self-sacrifice themselves. And I get it, sometimes is needed, you know, when you have kids and obligations and stuff like that. But sometimes it's like, honey, you need a break. Like, stop and smell the roses, you know, like, they smell beautiful, and you'll realize in that sniff, you'll realize, like, oh my god, I'm missing out on so much. I'm missing out, and you know, like, it's just, you never know what reflections you'll have just by like stopping and smelling the roses for a bit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have inner journey. That was in the bottom of the deck. So, like I said, I believe self-care and self-love is very important in the person, and I've had to learn that myself. I've had to practice self-love myself. You know what I mean? And this is recent, okay? Don't think I have it packed down and like I'm out here striving. Like, I'm striving. I'm here. I'm surviving, I guess. You know, my head is above water. But it wasn't always. Sorry if that bothers some of you. Sorry. But yeah. It's always good to, you know, have a bubble bath. It's not a crime to want a wine at the end of the day, you know, just to wind down. It's always good in moderation, not too heavy, you know, stuff like that. Always have that kind of awareness in your head still, you know. Self-indulgence sometimes is good, but too much is, you know, too much of anything. Even good stuff, like too much water, you could drown. You could drown in, you know, drinking too much water. You know, eating too much of anything is bad. Even good fruit or good vegetables, too much of anything is bad, right? So it's always good in moderation and balance. That's why it's always good to have balance. You know, if you work so hard taking care of a family, taking care of 2 kids, and going to work still, having a 9 to 5, coming home and cooking and cleaning and doing all that stuff and taking care of the kids, and you know, sometimes it is good to ask for help and say, you know, like, I need a break. Okay, I need this time for myself, maybe just an hour or a day. I'm not saying give up. I never will say that. Like, you can never give up, ever, ever. Okay, I'm talking to you. Don't ever give up. And anybody, if you love them, don't ever give up on them. If you really truly love somebody, you will never give up on them, no matter how hard it gets. I'm not saying that if someone gave up on you, that means that person didn't love you. No, it's just that person didn't love you in that capacity that they needed you. That they needed you needed them to love you. They couldn't give you that love. They weren't capable of that. of the capacity of love. It had nothing to do with you. It had everything to do with them and how they give or show their love. You know what I mean? And that's why it's always good to love yourself and be able to feel like you could fall back on yourself, regardless of anybody that leaves you or needs to leave you. Maybe some, in some instance, people have to leave each other because it's toxic. Like they know they're toxic to each other, and I've heard people say like, I've never felt like this with this person. Like she's the only one that makes me feel like this. I've had other relationships. I've had other girlfriends, whatever. She's the only one that makes me feel like this. Then that tells you a lot. And some people don't want to see that. They're just like, oh no, it's just her. She's got to fix it. And they just like so stubborn, and they stick with each other trying to do the blame game and be like, no, you and this and that, but still with each other. And they're like, no, you gotta change. And like, no, you gotta change. And they don't see eye to eye. Sometimes they need to leave each other, but they don't. That's what I mean. Some people see it and some people don't. Some people know when to let go and some people don't. You know what I mean? So I do have the Ace of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles is good, right? It's good in many instances. It talks about new beginnings. New opportunities. Ace of Pentacles, prosperity, new opportunities. The Ace of Pentacles, I said that right. Investments, support, and resources. The Ace of Pentacles denotes the beginning of new, exciting possibilities. Since we're dealing with Pentacles, this card specifically comments on money, material wealth, and resources. You could receive a new job offer or returns on some investments, or you could just be in a place where you're finally getting enough resources and support to follow your ambition and unleash your creativity and imagination. Whatever the case may be, get ready to invest in hard work. You must be dedicated in order to bring these new resources and possibilities to fruition. I can't. I don't know. And we have the Nine of Wands, right? So the Nine of Wands talks about, I think I should read up here, so there you go. Protection, defensiveness, vigilance, past struggles, and boundaries. The Nine of Wands indicates that you might be preparing to defend your power and accomplishments and protect your vulnerabilities. Even if there isn't a direct threat on the horizon, perhaps you've had to overcome quite a bit recently. So you're on the edge and prepared for the worst. Either way, your walls are up. Your knives are out. The question is it that really necessary? Most likely, no. Pause and think about whether your defensiveness is warranted. On the way to accomplishing your goals, you might be stressing yourself out over nothing because you're assuming things will go wrong. ask yourself if defensiveness is what is needed instead of communication and vulnerability. Let down your guard and stand tall. I like that. So this could be a lot of things, many scenarios. Ace of Pentacles being new possibilities, new beginnings. And then having this defensiveness of the Nine of Wands. You know, there's a possibility, and look what I have in the bottom of the deck. The Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is always very defensive. She's very cutthroat. She's very like off with your head, you know, tell me the truth now and nothing but the truth. I'm waiting for the truth. And depending on that truth or the communication, I'm gonna determine if I'm gonna slice your head or not. You know, I'm gonna give it to you or not. You know, like tell you my 2 cents about this. I don't know. You know, like she's like this person is like sitting, like you know that look when women give you or people give you when they ask you a question to what and they ask you a question which they already know the answer to, but they want to see what you say to see if you're gonna lie or not. This is how she looks. Like, oh yeah, is that so? Really? Oh really? You know, like she's very cynical, kind of. So this could be a lot of things. Like I said, this could be, you know, somebody telling that, you know, you could be the Queen of Swords being very defensive. Maybe there's some kind of, yeah, maybe some kind of new possibility, new beginning. It does say that this could be financial, but like I said, it's just new possibilities in general. It could be, you know, a new beginning in something. So, that being said, you being defensive and very having your guard up, you're not letting your blessings in, or you're not letting, like maybe you look like you're having a bad day, maybe you are having a bad day, you know, I'm not judging. I'm not saying like, oh, don't be having a pissy mood or a pissy, you know, a bitch resting face, you know, like what's wrong with you, like you're out here, you know what I mean. You know, maybe you are going through something, but maybe somebody's seen you like in the mood that you are. They want to tell you maybe like, hey, you know, I'm gonna give you this project. It's a hard project, but maybe they're not telling you this, but maybe they're like, if you do, you know, I want you to do this project, and depending how well you take on this project, they're gonna determine, you know, some kind of accolade or some kind of promotion, I want to say, just because the Ace of Pentacles, it does say something about resources, like some kind of investment, new job offer, you know, it could be like either it could be a promotion, you never know. So that's why I said, like, that's why it's always good, and this goes for anything and everyone that goes through something, you know, being so defensive all the time and being like, oh well, nobody did anything for me, so why should I, you know, or having that attitude of, you know, well, this happened to me, or I went through some kind, yeah, hardship, so, you know, let me cry, or let me whatever, like let me be depressed. I mean, you know, just leave me alone. Like you're just like being very defensive, very having your guard up. Maybe you give that energy, or giving off that energy, being very cold. So just keep that in mind. You could stop your own blessing by being ungrateful and always being the victim. You know, at some point they say, you know, like your childhood traumas weren't your fault, but your healing sure is. You know, like taking that accountability of knowing what triggers you, or like not being such in this in the mentality of being victim, like victimizing yourself to the point where nothing in your life is going well because you're still blaming that one thing that has been in the past. You know, right here saying the Nine of Wands being past struggles and boundaries. Sometimes certain people need those boundaries or need other people to place those boundaries on them, you know, because they don't know how to have those boundaries themselves, because they like to say like, oh, well, nobody likes to help me, I'm always by myself, I'm always alone, bad things always happen to me, you know, things like that. Or I'm like this because of this, when it's something that was in the past. That doesn't determine, you know, your integrity and your responsibilities. And you know what I mean? I hope I'm explaining myself right. Well, I hope I'm explaining myself well. Sorry. And so let's see. Oh, what comes I'm just gonna throw some cards of advice. And just, for example, just if this resonates and you just need some advice, this is for you. And if it does resonate, I hope that you find guidance and peace in this message. And please, throw that like button, hit that like button, comment down below if it resonates, if you're not shy to let your story be known. I hate when and I said I was scared that was gonna come out, so the Five of Cups. It's a sad card, but where's the little book? Where is my handy dandy book? Oh, there it is. Sorry. 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 So the Five of Cups says a loss, a path to despair. That's why I said it was a sad card. You are feeling birth. I do not know what that word is. B-E, hold on. Hold on. Sorry, guys. It's like, I'm really sorry, but I really want to see what this word means. Bereft, deprived of or lacking. I know, I'm just breath, wondering what might have been had, or what? Wondering what might have been had you acted more wisely. The Five of Cups urges you to swift your focus. There are still possibilities in every loss. So it does look that you've needed to the Tower being here, and I was just talking about the Tower, just my last reading. Needing to move from rocky waters, being, you know, crazy. I'm not saying crazy. Unfortunate situations, having to remove yourself from those situations. So and maybe you like being that sacred spaces here. You know, maybe this is very cliche, but a lot of people, it's true though. You know, maybe you need to cleanse yourself of people, places, or things that are not resonating with your soul no more. Maybe you need to find more peace in your sacred space, and that's wherever you put your foot in, you know, in your home, where you go to work, you know, where you go to day, you know, it being, you know, people that you visit or places that you visit. Are they making you feel good? If not, if at the end of the day you're still feeling empty, you know, you gotta ask yourself why, and should I still keep these people or these places or things in my home, in my space, in my sacred space. You know, your space is very sacred, and that should be sacred to you. If you don't love yourself and don't protect your own sacred space, nobody will. And everybody is going to try to penetrate your sacred space, your peace. They're always going to want to take from your light, even if it's just like a little dim. If they see you trying just a little bit, just barely lifting your head up, and they just want to bring you down. You know, you gotta be solid with yourself to not let other people affect you in that way, and not, but also not let your guard be so up to the point where you don't let the good things come around, or the good people that are trying to penetrate your space. You know, you have to be selective. That's very good, to be very selective of your energy, your time, and your space. So if you like this reading, if you like this message, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if it resonates. And I'll see you on the next one. Oh, from 1 to 5. Let me know how y'all feeling. If y'all have reached the end of this video, let me know. 1 to 5. 1 being feeling like doo-doo, and 5 feeling so happy, ready for tomorrow, ready for the next thing, the new thing, you know. I hope y'all doing great. I'm actually recording this on Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving. Regardless of how this holiday was started, it's always good to be grateful, and every day to be grateful, not just this day, but every day. That's how you level and evolve. I feel like when you're grateful for things, and when you're grateful for things, you take care of your things more. You take care of, you know, your possessions, the people around you. You learn to appreciate them and learn how to treat them by being grateful that, you know, you have all that you need, and whatever you don't, it's not meant for you at the moment, at the time. Doesn't mean that's not for you, it's just not at the time. Anything that's meant for you will find you. And you are loved. You are important. You gotta make yourself important. If not, you will just wither away and be forgotten. It's better to give that best impression and be the best version of yourself and be remembered in the best way than to have a bad attitude and bad judgment. You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, I hope you like this video.